Jennifer's Story. In some small towns, it seems nothing bad ever happens. Nothing really bad. Neat little houses sit behind white picket fences on shady streets. The afternoon air is filled with the sound of neighborhood dogs barking, bicycle bells ringing, and school buses delivering children to waiting parents who feel safe letting them play outside even after the streetlights come on. Dinners are prepared, served, and eaten. Homework is done. And friends get together for good times, parties, and sleepovers. But sometimes, behind all this ordinary and untroubled daily life, sometimes there is evil, just waiting for a chance to materialize. And that's just what happened on the night of Susan's sleepover. 13 minutes before midnight, 3 girls, Susan and her friends Karen and Melissa, were just climbing into their sleeping bags. Of course, no one was ready for sleep. So Susan started a game of truth or dare. Melissa picked dare. Karen had a really good one. She dared Melissa to explore Mossgrave Manor, the old abandoned mansion at the end of the road. All 3 knew the rumor that the place was haunted by something that happened a long time ago, but none of them really knew the true story. Melissa accepted the dare, but only on the condition that Susan and Karen go too. And so they climbed out through Susan's bedroom window onto the back porch roof into the cold night air. They climbed down the branches of the old oak tree. Maybe the dare would provide a clue to the mysterious past of the huge mansion, once a beautiful house, now all boarded up and forgotten. They moved quickly down the street, huddled together, and looking straight ahead and never back, because they knew if they stopped, they would be unable to muster the courage to go on. When they reached the place where the paved road ends, where long, ugly weeds grow in clumps and trees seem tired and drooping, they looked up at the huge stone lions at the entrance to Mossgrave Manor. The beasts had once proudly stood guard, but now the statues were old, cracked and broken, strangled by thick, overgrown vines, their backs barely bearing the weight of fallen, dead trees. In the distance, the towering mansion was dark, cold, and scary. Only the shimmering full moon illuminated the scene, and its strange glow made the gnarled claws of the dead scrub trees appear to be reaching up out of the mansion's family graveyard. Billowing black clouds rolled slowly across the face of the moon, and the night turned darker, colder, and more ominous. From miles away, the town hall clock tower began its haunting midnight song. As the last chime rang out, Karen gave Melissa a gentle push. Taking a deep breath, she stepped onto the grounds of Mossgrave Manor.
Look up there, at the mansion.
What? What do you see?
The mansion. There's a light on the top floor. I think it just came on.
Okay, someone's there. Let's go home.
No one is supposed to live there. Let's go up to the porch and look inside.
I don't know about this.
Melissa's right. It'll be fun. Come on, let's just take a peek.
All right, here's the porch. But I'm not going first. It's your dare, Melissa.
All right, I will.
What go home now, please.
Just an old bat. He was probably more scared than us.
Hey, look! The front door's not locked.
Wow, look at this place.
Cool. All the furniture is covered in sheets, and there's dust and cobwebs everywhere.
Hey, look at these dark stains on the floor.
Come on, let's take a look around.
Hey, who closed the door?
It must have been the wind. Melissa, open the door.
I can't. It's jammed.
Or locked?
Hey, do you hear that?
What? What is it?
It's coming from upstairs. Let's go see.
Are you crazy?
What choice do we have? We can't get out the way we came in.
She's got a point, Susan.
I can't see. It's so dark in here.
Except when the lightning flashes.
The banister's all sticky. What's this warm, gooey stuff?
Ew! Gross! Ugh.
That music is coming from the room at the end of the hall. Look, the one with the yellow light. It must be the room we saw from outside.
I'm gonna peek through the keyhole. Wow, you're not gonna believe this. There's a girl our age sitting on a canopy bed, playing with a music box. The whole room is beautiful.
Let me see. Oh, wow. Cool.
Let's go in. Maybe she can help us get out of here.
Hello. Have you come for a sleepover? It's been so long since anyone came for a sleepover. I'm Jennifer.
Well, hello. My name is Melissa.
I'm Karen, and this is Susan.
Do you live here all alone?
No, my mom and dad live here too. They take care of me. But they're gone right now.
She looks so old-fashioned. Look at her dress.
And she's just so pale.
We've got to get away from here. If she lives with her parents, they must live in the attic or the basement, because the rest of the place hasn't been used in decades.
Let's get her out of here. We can take Jennifer with us.
Jennifer, why don't you come with us and sleep over at my house?
No.
Come on, Jennifer, run! We've got to get out of here now. Let's go.
Let's get out of here.
Let's go.
Come on, let's get out of here.
All four girls rushed out into the hall. Without warning, a door in front of them swung open. They sidestepped it, but a door on the other side of the long hallway opened in front of them too. Was the house trying to keep them from leaving? Shouting for the others to run, Karen grabbed Jennifer's hand and pushed the doors away. But for every step they took, another door swung open. They finally made it to the top of the stairs, but as Karen stepped onto the top step, the stairway began to collapse beneath her. Melissa grabbed the back of her pajamas and kept Karen from falling down the shattered staircase. The girls turned frantically and ran back down the hall, then headed toward the window at the far end. Guided by lightning and the silhouette of bare branches at the window, they raced towards it. Susan, running behind the other girls, heard an angry scream and felt something grab the back of her neck. Terrified, she jerked away and turned, just as a shadowy figure vanished behind one of the doors. Melissa reached the end of the hall, tugged frantically at the window, and tried desperately to pull it open. Karen pushed Melissa out of the way, pulled her sleeve around her fist, and punched through the glass, yelping in pain as it shattered and fell to the ground below. One by one, the girls hurriedly climbed out onto the large branch outside the window. Jennifer waited until last, looking timidly behind her and trembling near tears. The three friends shouted at her to come with them.
Come on, Jennifer. You can do it.
Don't leave me. Please don't leave me here alone.
It's okay. We'll help you. It's okay.
Come on. You'll be safe with us.
Melissa screamed. as a tall, dark figure appeared behind Jennifer, who turned herself and screamed as a shadowy hand reached out for her. Karen, who was closest to the window, tried to grab Jennifer's hand, but the dark figure pulled Jennifer back into the darkness. Fearing for their own lives, Karen, Susan, and Melissa scrambled down the tree and ran through the dark, wet yard. They stumbled through puddles and over fallen branches. They clawed wildly at the vines, which grabbed at their arms, clothes, and hair as they fled. Gasping for breath, the three girls reached the street. They kept running, heading towards Melissa's house because it was the closest. Screaming, they pounded on the door until her parents woke up. Horrified, her parents heard the girls inside. Melissa begged her mom and dad to call the police, telling them to hurry, so someone could save Jennifer from whatever had grabbed her and pulled her away from them before they could rescue her from that terrible, terrible house. The police rushed to the dark house at the Mossgrave estate, but they found nothing. No sign of the little girl or the thing that had snatched her away. The three friends told them everything that had happened, but the police decided they were playing a childish prank. The stairs were fine, if a little creaky, the officer said, and the little girl's room looked like every other room in the house. There couldn't have been a light, the police said. The electricity had been shut off in the house years ago. The only evidence the girls had even been there was the broken window they had escaped from. Even Melissa's parents had a hard time believing their story, and they were furious that the girls had been out so late alone. The next day, the town newspaper carried a story about the excitement at old Mossgrave Manor, with interviews with the girls, their parents, and the police. And something else. The story went out to mention the family that had lived in the house 20 years ago. They were quiet and kept to themselves. Neighbors rarely saw them. They had arrived in early June, after the school term had ended, and Jennifer, for that in fact was her name, Jennifer Mossgrave, was waiting for the fall to enroll. But that first week in September came and went, and Jennifer never appeared. Mail and newspapers piled up on the front porch. But each night, a light shone in an upstairs bedroom. Finally, the police were summoned. Forced to break a window to enter, they were met with complete silence. They found Jennifer in an upstairs bedroom, the one with the light still glowing. She was in her bed, her eyes bulging, her hands clutching her blanket, the most terrified expression on her face. Apparently, she had quite literally been scared to death. And on the wall, there as a permanent shadow, a hulking figure with something clutched in its hand. Oh, there had been a struggle. That much was evident. Yet, though the search continued for years, the Mossgraves, Jennifer's parents, were never found. There were rumors. There always are. But the mystery was never solved. What really happened in this house 20 years ago that caused a young girl to die of fright? There was a picture alongside the article, a snapshot taken about a year before that night. Smiling sweetly at the photographer was Jennifer. Karen, who had held Jennifer's hand as they ran down the hallway, burst into tears when she saw the picture. She had touched the hand of a ghost, she thought hysterically, and ran from the room. She went to the bathroom to splash cold water on her face and looked up into the mirror and screamed. Look in your mirror now to see what Karen saw. Jennifer's corpse, staring